Just to show, this is Eddie Rye Jr. setting in for Reverend Harriet Walden. She's on the road right now with one of her sons and hoping for Godspeed on their travel grace. We're going to go right to this part of the program. We have with us the CEO of Americans for Equality, MLK Gandhi Empowerment Initiative, Omer Qureshi. We have the lead instructor for that program, Justin Ellis. And we have two successful alumni who graduated, and that is Erica Horde and Brian Haynes, who are now in an internship program. And I want to just let people know that this intern program was going to be performed, my understanding, by the University of Washington Bothell campus, but some snafu happened, and MLK Gandhi didn't get the $1 million. We'll talk about that later. So I want to go right to the CEO, Omer Qureshi, just to give you an overview of what's happening right now. And also, we'll go to have him go to Justin and Erica and Brian to share their experiences of this vital program. So go right ahead, Omar.
Thank you so very much, Eddie, for having us over. And what a phenomenal time it is for Americans for Equality MLK Gandhi Initiative. We have just concluded the 50 students for the cohort 1 and 2. And as you mentioned, Brian and Erica both graduated from those cohorts. We're in process of ongoing 140 or so students. So that brings our number close to 190, 200 students. This is an intensive technical education program where we are focused on topics such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data analytics, cloud. We are also bringing in recruiters from former Microsoft and Amazon. We're actually working with each of the students on how do you create a resume, how do you update a LinkedIn profile. They teach you this art of STAR method for interviewing skills, which is something predominantly used. And we have about 30% of our students that are going through some level of interviews and job placements. And Eddie, this program has been a blessing to many, as you'll be hearing soon, both from Erica and Brian, who are the living examples of the benefits of the program. But let me give you a bit more anecdotal feedback in terms of the program itself. So we have first portion, which is the 3 months intensive education that runs Monday, Wednesdays, or Tuesdays, Thursdays. We've also started a Saturday option, and that is to work around many of our students because our average age is about 40 years, 2 months. Most of our students have one, if not two jobs. So evening works a lot better for most of our students. But we also heard, Eddie, that there are students that would like to have a Saturday option. So twice a month, we have a 5-hour long each session that meets, and we cover the same topics. So that gives students over the span of 12 weeks introductory to intermediate level understanding on some of the key topics.
Is that every Saturday or every other Saturday?
Every other Saturday. And then for the week options, the weekly ones, those are every week.
And how many students do you have in each session?
Or does we have typically, yes, Eddie, great question. On average, we are about 35 to 40 students per session.
And it's my understanding that some of the students in the first two cohorts are qualified to receive a stipend of $1,000 a month.
That is correct, Eddie. And that was something working closely with some of the state organizations. And we have about 32 students that qualified for the stipend.
Now, what is the situation now for the next 142? As I know Marie Carosa is the CEO of the Seattle Kane County Workforce Development, and I think through her office, it was made possible for students to get stipends. Has there any indication from CEO Carosa whether or not the stipends will be available for people that qualify in the next 3 cohorts?
Sir, that's an excellent question. Also, we are working closely with Marie's team, but at this point, there's no funding that's been set aside for these stipends. And we're hoping that that stipend could come together rather quickly because that would help our students.
Now, can you go in a little bit more detail about the classes that are being offered at the first 12 weeks? And we know that Miss Erica and Mr. Brian are graduates, they're alumni, and they're in the intern program. That's the next step. Can you share with our listeners exactly the kind of courses that are being taught and who are the people who are developing these courses?
Most certainly, Eddie. So, and I'll start off and then Justin, I'll pull you into this discussion as well. So, Eddie, our concept has been less about theoretical applications, but more about how actual tech companies use technology. Me being 25 years in the tech sector, leveraged a lot of the practical educators, as well as the folks that are working, 9 to 5 jobs in tech, from Microsoft, Amazon, King County. Now, the courses, the way we develop, those were based on where the jobs and where the money is. For case in point, cybersecurity has got about 4 million job openings today in the United States. So that's a topic that is near and dear to whether you're a mom and pop shop or you're a big bank, you need cybersecurity defenders on your payroll. So we've spent a lot of time on building that curriculum along with partnering with CompTIA and a few other organizations on getting certifications. So that's the first elements of it. Second one is the artificial intelligence, Eddie. As you know, every company, every organization is investing on AI in a big way. And first thing what we did was with working with Justin and Microsoft is we brought in the subject matter experts to explain and demystify what AI is and to make our students comfortable to work closely with AI and develop their resumes and how do you use AI on programming, how do you take AI to succeed in a job. In fact, 2 of our students leveraged that skill set and got promoted in the jobs they were working at. So those are some of the practical things we are doing in. Justin, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so I'm Justin Ellis, and I've been teaching at Technical College, Renton Technical College, and Clark College for 5 to 7 years. And so what we've developed is a program that utilizes a hybrid format, so in-person sessions as well as remote learning, to really engage our students and make sure they get the material they need to get into these tech sectors. And with this, we can support them, mentor them, and make sure they really feel comfortable in these sectors and develop the skills to get jobs in these sectors and get promoted at their current jobs.
Justin, to give our listeners some kind of idea of what courses are you teaching and what kind of courses are other, and we have a lot more instructors, but what is being taught? AI and cybersecurity wanted to go to the next level.
Yeah, so I am teaching cloud computing as well as helping with the generative AI as well as network infrastructures. And the reason why I'm teaching these classes is I have over 10 years of experience in doing these topics, whether it's leveraging and managing Office 365 or creating a large network for over 400 offices at a building. And we have leveraged with other instructors who are subject matter experts in cybersecurity, generative AI, and then, as Omer mentioned, HR and recruiting to really not only teach them, but as well as get their foot in the door into all these jobs that in cybersecurity or cloud.
And Justin, just to add, and Eddie, as you heard from Justin, it's a lot of practical know-how and a lot of academic best practices that we have seen that work in community colleges and other higher ed. Now, outside of the curriculum that Justin mentioned, we also have programming. We have data analytics where we are partnering very closely with Salesforce. Salesforce is used by 150,000 businesses worldwide. Whether you're a small company or large company, you're using Salesforce for some sort of AI and database analytics. So those are all the skills that we are making available to our students in the classroom. But outside of the classroom, where I would like to take the conversation soon, both with Brian and Erica, we have.
I would like to hear a little bit about Miss Erica's background, and then I'd like to have her comment on what she think helped her most in getting through the undergraduate program, so to speak. She's in the graduate program right now. So Erica Hort, go right ahead, please.
Hi, my name is Erica Hort. I am a proud graduate of cohort 1 of this program. I graduated in March, and after graduation, I was accepted as an intern. And since April, I have been using the tools that I've learned basically to apply them to real world projects. And I'm excited to continue building a future in tech with everything that I've learned. And I guess I could say also part of my background, I am a mother of 3. Before this program, I worked in customer service and retail for over a decade. And I kind of got burned out and I noticed that I needed a pivot and I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to come about. And then this program kind of fell in my lap through community passageways. And I was able to gain skills and learn things that I was always interested about, but never really thought that I was smart enough to do. And this program pretty much changed the way that I thought about tech and about my capabilities of learning it and retaining the information. And I feel like my biggest struggle probably was the programming part of it. But with the help of all of my mentors and Anthony, he was able to break it down to me really in a way that I could understand it and kind of meet me where I was at. And since then, I've passed, of course, because I've graduated. And I just have a newfound appreciation for the work that they do, also from seeing it as an intern and seeing all the work that goes into this program. And I, for one, am proud of this program and happy that I was to be able to be a participant because it's changed my life in more ways than one.
Well, that's a good news story. We need to play that to the governor so he can sign that release for that $1 million. The next intern is a longtime friend, well, a friend of his family for a long time, because he's not that old. But Brian Haynes, who also is in the intern program, went through the training, initial training, which is held at New Beginnings Christian Fellowship Church in Kent, Washington, and where you guys are right now. What UW University of Washington Bothell campus is supposed to do, you're performing now at WeWork in Bellevue. So anything that was proposed is still being done in spite of the fact of the state not giving us the $1 million. Okay, now we'll go to Brian Haynes. Go ahead, Mr. Brian Haynes.
Hello, I am Brian Haynes. I am a graduate of Cohort 1, and I graduated in March of this current year. And I applied to be an intern of April, and I'm lucky to be accepted as an intern. Currently, I am an intern for social media marketing and for photography. A little bit about my background. Before this program, I was currently doing a couple leap years of school because I graduated high school and I didn't know what career program I wanted to go for. And then luckily enough, through this program, I found it and I applied and I was accepted into the first cohort, went through the whole process of the undergraduate, and now I'm currently a graduate as an intern. And this program has given me the ability to use the skills that I had before this program, like all the little technical skills like my photography, and then combine them with all the industry practices that they use with AI, programming, and all that other kind of stuff, especially with web design and web development is one class that we did also have. And with using those programs, we're currently boosting our social media platforms so we can bring more students to the program and have more people have this access to be able to be trained and brought from places that they didn't have the ability to get the information and training that they were to use in their careers that they didn't have before.
Would you encourage some of your colleagues to join, get on the list to join the program, Brian?
Oh, absolutely. I've definitely been trying to get a lot of my friends and a lot of my colleagues that I know are interested in tech and fields like this to join.
Well, you know what I'm going to do to help with the recruitment effort? I'm going to see if the station manager, Eric, will get a clip of this so that your friends, you can text it to them and they can hear you. And that might encourage them to go ahead and sign up sooner rather than later. So, Omar, let's go back to you. Now, look, I wanted to go through for our listeners a list. I know there are a lot of classes, but I want them to hear exactly what is being offered. It don't have to be all at the same time, but over a duration of, say, the 3 months of the undergraduate study, what classes are being offered. And also, I want you to give a shout out to the instructors, who I'd like people to know who they are as well.
Most certainly, Eddie. So we have 12 weeks long curriculum that has sequential based learning, which means you complete one module, then we start another module. Typically, each classroom module gets kicked off with HR and corporate integration, which is our ways of working closely with every student to make sure they have a resume, they have a LinkedIn profile, they are prepared for a job interview. The second module where we move into is around cloud and cloud administration, where we're working very closely with both Microsoft and Amazon and their technology. And that module gives students fundamentals of what is it like building any application or deploying things in the cloud. From there, we take this to cybersecurity. As I mentioned, there are a lot of jobs in cybersecurity that are available today in the United States. Some estimates between 2 to 4 million jobs. So there we have partnered with CompTIA Security Plus, which is a industry-leading basic certification. And we've actually had about 10 students that go through that boot camp, and one of them have already passed the certification. That's the work, Eddie, we were supposed to do working with UW, that now we are doing out of here in Bellevue, we work. Now, beyond the cybersecurity, we have artificial intelligence, where we have Copilot. We also have Azure modules that allow students on developing application, as well as bringing artificial intelligence to their workflows. There, we take usually a week-long break that allows students to catch up on a lot of the work, because we have partnership with LinkedIn Learning, which has got 16,000 courses that are available. And our curriculum of 120 hours over 3 months relies heavily on in-person classrooms, as well as the LinkedIn Learning and self-paced modules. And then last but not least, we move into programming and data analytics. And that's where we typically conclude the 12 weeks. Now, if I may explain, there we don't want to, that's where our journey is starting. That's not where we are ending. So what we end up doing typically is we have boot camps on dedicated topics. Currently, we are offering 4 boot camps. There's one for AI, there's one for cloud, there's one for Salesforce data analytics, and there's one for cybersecurity. This allows students to spend 100+ hours dedicated on one topic. We have state-of-the-art facilities here at VWorks, something that we would have had with UW, but we still wanted to deliver on this. And Eddie, what you'll be amazed to see here is we have students who are spending 100+ hours to leave with a industry certification that has starting jobs anywhere from 85,000 to 130,000, based on their passion, based on their work.
Well, Omar, it's a good message, but we're out of time.
Yes, sir.
So I want to thank Erica Horde. I'm glad to see that you're succeeding. Brian Haynes, thank you. And Justin Ellis, thank you for your commitment and dedication to pass that information on. And Omer, you've done an outstanding job in bringing all the pieces together. But once again, I would have to tell folks that MLK Gandhi had, according to Representative Sharon Tomiko Santos, in the budget 2022-2023, had $500,000 each year for the program you're doing at WeWork for UW-Bothell. And we got the letter from and the email from the former president saying that they never didn't touch the money, and the money should go to where it's supposed to come, and that was to us. So hopefully we'll get something done. But anyway, before we go, I want to let people know I am the chair of the board for Americans for Equality and for MLK Gandhi Empowerment Initiative. So I want to thank you guys once again for all the work you're doing. Ryan, you and Erica, you guys are good examples of what can happen. So thank you very much. And this program will be available probably in a couple of hours on Alexa, so you can hear it for quite a while. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, Eric.